Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm doing my August wrap up. I read 5 books this month, all of which were actually quite good, so it was a good reading month. So the first book I read was Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I think that this book should absolutely be required reading. It's written as a letter from Ta-Nehisi to his son. It was very emotional, very moving, and very personal as he delves into his experience as a Black man in America. The writing itself is beautiful. The lyrical prose is just captivating and it flows so well. And I really do think that this should be required reading. I think that Toni Morrison suggested as much. It comments on America's history beginning from slavery until now and breaks down the concept of race, the American dream, police brutality, and more. So even though I'm not sure if you can really quantify a work like this by giving it a star rating, I gave this one 5 stars. The next book I read was The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. I'm a huge fan of James Baldwin, as I think everyone should be. His work is timeless and classic, and it applies to right now as much as it did 50 years ago. This is another book that confronts the legacy of racism in both a personal way and a way that looks at the broader overview. So he talks a lot about his personal experiences, but he also gives a direct analysis of things like race and religion in America. So this is another book that could honestly be required reading, as with a lot of other Baldwin's work, and this is another title I gave 5 stars. Next, I read With the Fire on High. Kind of funny that the title is similar. And I just cannot get over how beautiful the cover is. And we're throwing a little bit of contemporary in here. So With the Fire on High is a book about a high school senior named Amani who loves to cook. She has to navigate high school, dating, and all kinds of difficult decisions you make as you go from adolescence to adulthood, all while raising her baby girl. There's a little bit of magical realism, which I love, as she cooks up the dishes that are kind of life-changing, and people try her food and they have these flashbacks to memories they thought they'd forgotten. She deals with unexpected romance and unexpected changes in family dynamics. She's been raised by her grandmother and then her father reappears in her life. Then she's presented with an opportunity to travel to Spain with her culinary arts class. I stayed up late reading this one. I really enjoyed it. There were only a few things I didn't like, such as the repetitive, "I released a breath I didn't know I was holding" sentence, which for some reason is really common in YA. Overall, it was very easy to read and enjoyable and a lovely story. Next, I read The Source of Self-Regard, Selected Essays, Speeches, and Meditations by Toni Morrison. This is a collection that is gathered from all kinds of different events, including James Baldwin's eulogy. Her words are always very precise and impactful, and she's regarded as one of America's greatest writers by many. Since this collection spans decades, there were some repeated themes and topics, but I didn't really mind. I think this is a good title to read over a period of time. She speaks a lot about reality, race, writing, politics, and she gives insight into her other novels, so if you are a fan of her fiction work, you will probably enjoy this. Finally, I read Red, White, and Blue, which is a story about the fictional first son of the first female president of the United States and Prince Henry, who he feels is his enemy in some way. The two absolutely cannot stand each other, so for some kind of PR move, they are forced to spend time together and pretend to be best friends. They end up really enjoying each other's company and relating about a lot of things, and then they fall in love. There are obviously a lot of barriers to them being together, since they both have a lot of pressure from their respective families, the public, and their political roles. There were some really funny lines that made me laugh out loud, and overall it was a very sappy and sweet romance. I believe I gave this one 3.5 or 4 stars. Oh, I forgot to give the other titles ratings. I think I gave With the Fire on High 4 stars, and then The Source of Self-Regard I gave 4.5 stars, I think. So that is it. That's everything I read this August. I had planned on reading more, but it ended up being a kind of chaotic month. On the bright side, I turned 24 on the 24th, so it was my golden birthday. But unfortunately, a lot of us were affected by wildfires here in California. My mom's house was evacuated, and still is, so it's been several weeks now, and no one can return home yet. So it's been very stressful, and especially during the first couple of weeks, I didn't feel like reading, I didn't feel like doing anything. Couldn't really focus. You know, I was like refreshing Facebook pages and watching 2 press conferences a day, and just like very traumatic overall. So I didn't get as much reading done as I had hoped to, but I'm trying to kind of get back into the swing of it and read more titles before the year's through. I can't believe how quickly this year has gone by and that it is already September. It's very cold and overcast here today, so I'm bundled up. Kind of feels like fall. Kind of excited because fall is probably my favorite season. I love the weather, the outfits. I also have a kind of style and fashion blog. So I always love curating fall outfits because I get to, you know, use lots of cute boots and hats. So yeah, that is what is going on with me. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below if you've read any of these titles and have any thoughts on them, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!